All nice and peaceful. Do you think she stays like that?
No.
Through the whole video?
No. No way.
Are you posing?
But you can start the...
What's up, guys? Jeremy here with Touch of Class Creations, coming to the little duo video with you today with my buddy Joey from the Soaring Eagle Ranch. Joey and I have known each other for, about 14 years or something like that. I got to know Joey because I started working with him and just over the years became really good friends. And I started a YouTube channel and kind of was working with Joey when I started the channel, and his dad had been talking about starting one for a long time, so they kind of started one. So I'm over here today to help them shoot a video, so just thought I would say hi, and we're going to talk with Randy and Joey about Randy's dying experience and how that equates and that kind of stuff. So without any further ado, let's check out the Soaring Eagle Ranch guys. And as always, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Joey's channel, hit the like button, hit the notifications bell to be notified anytime he or I release a new video, and share. Without any further ado, here's the Soaring Eagle Ranch, Randy and Joey. All right, so now we're here with Randy and Joey. Introduce yourself, guys. How you doing today?
Well, I don't think I need to introduce myself that much because you've seen me on plenty of previous other videos, and Jeremy did a heck of a job. So again, I'm Joey. I'm here with my dad, Randy. Today is going to be a different kind of video than what you're used to seeing from us lately. We're going to go deep and serious today with recent experiences with my dad. So here we go.
Hello. We're doing this video mostly because a lot of people will ask me what it's like to be dead. So we figured there's interest in it, so that's why we're doing the video. And we're kind of going to do a question and answer thing. Jeremy's going to throw questions at, and hopefully I can answer them.
Awesome. So Randy, you had an experience about 4 or 5 months ago?
Yeah, it was actually March 5th.
Okay. So tell us a little bit, I guess, before you had the experience, a brief kind of what led up to what happened.
Okay, well, I've had lung disease since around July, August of 2018. And I've been treated for that in several ways. And come last November, we had a lengthy discussion with my pulmonologist, and he said he thought there was more going on than just the lungs. So basically, he got me hooked up with a cardiologist and did some tests, and my EF numbers were very, very low. And at that time, they sent me to an electrophysicist, and he kind of fast-tracked the whole thing and installed a pacemaker and defibrillator on a Friday. And that Saturday, basically when I'm checking out, I died. So with the pacemaker defib, I'm not sure which one, but they actually can print out the whole episode on graph, just like, if you're hooked up to some machine in a hospital, they can graph it. And that's what they did. So we know that I was dead for 18 seconds, not counting the leaving and coming back time. But as far as being flatlined, it was 18 seconds. And that's that.
And that's 18 seconds. Your heart wasn't beating and you were not with us in this world then.
That is correct.
So I know the story because Randy told me the story. So he was pretty much kind of rushed to this when they finally went to do it. They decided all within about a week. Initially, they were going to do his surgery in a 5-week time, and then they decided with everything going on that they should do it within a week. So he had his pacemaker put in on Friday and defibrillator, and Saturday, as they were interviewing him, is when the whole incident happened. So why don't you tell us the exact bit of the incident?
Okay, so like you just said, I had it installed on Friday around 2 o'clock. And then it's kind of ironic, but 2 o'clock, on Saturday or thereabouts is when I was basically
They were doing like your discharge, doing the discharging
I was being discharged. The nurse was sitting on the hospital bed. I was sitting in the recliner, and Pam, my wife, was sitting in the on the couch. So I'm kind of next to her, and she's on the couch, but I'm sitting in the rocker and kind of leaning like this. And so I'm telling, the nurse asked me in my file, there was a thing called Chagas disease. And she said she'd never heard of that, so I was explaining what that was. And so I'm doing that, in which I like to tell the story. And then all of a sudden, all I know is that there's a whole lot of people in the room. I did not really know who I was. I did not know who my wife was. And I just, why am I here? Where am I? And so when I went, I just kind of drooped over towards my wife, and the nurse knew what happened. And that's when she rang the code or whatever. And, you know, the whole team just filled up in the room.
So basically you're telling a story, and the next thing you know, you woke up and you have a room full of people, no idea what happened, and didn't know who your wife was or anything was. And how long did it take for your senses to come back or for you to remember?
Probably somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes before I fully knew who I was and I could comprehend what they were telling me. I guess that's it.
When you were out now, you hear people talking about following the lights and, you know, leaving their body and seeing their, you know, floating over the, all kinds of stuff like that. What did you experience when you, as far as you know, were gone, or what do you remember? Do you remember anything?
Okay, the first thing I'll say is I never felt the defib go off. And why it takes 18 seconds is because it does not stay charged. You have a battery and it takes 18 seconds for it to charge up. And then it shocks you, and then that starts the heart working again, slowly, you know. But that's what starts. So when it goes off, if you are conscious, they say it's like a mule kicking you in the chest.
Wow.
Well, I don't know what a mule would feel like because I've never been kicked by one before. But anyway, that's what they say. So I did not feel that, obviously, because I was dead.
Right.
Okay. So I did not see any bright lights. I did not see any fires or the devil or any of that. I am a reborn Christian. I know I'm going to go to heaven. I've accepted Christ as my Savior. So I really am confused on why you do hear of some people talk about what all the bright, beautiful lights in the field of flowers and, you know, all that. Well, I don't know if heaven has a field of flowers. That doesn't really make sense to me. And I would feel like if you go to heaven, that it's going to be a whole lot nicer than the nicest thing that we have on earth. So I don't know where they come up with that. I can definitely tell you, I know nothing of what happened. And I saw nothing.
So basically, from your time that you were dead, you don't have any. It's just black, basically. No warmth, no lights, no nothing.
That is correct.
Gotcha. Now, in that being said and talking about that, we were having a discussion on what it could be like, what it's like, other people's experiences, videos we've seen, stuff we've watched. You wanted to talk about another experience of someone that you know very well and someone else that had died and what they experienced too.
Yeah.
As far as to equate it.
My ex-wife's father was a volunteer fireman, and this is years and years ago. And there was a little, close to 3-year-old girl, and she had wandered in the back pond, and she was basically drowned for at least 20 minutes before the grandfather found her on the bottom, not real deep. He could see the body. He was walking around the pond, and he found her, and he started CPR, and he did CPR for a long time. And actually, some of the other firefighters had given up on the girl, and Harry wouldn't give up. And he saved the girl. She eventually, spitted up water and came a little bit to life. She was still, she was in a coma, or she stayed in a coma for about 3 months. And at some point in time, Harry and the little girl, which today the little girl is like 44 years old, and they stay at least in contact once a month. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And the little girl, you said from Harry's conversations, he's asked her what she experienced, what she remembers, and what was that?
It was identical to mine. She saw nothing, remembers nothing. It was just like mine, She just remembers when she woke up, she was in the hospital.
Gotcha. And since then, have you had any kind of, obviously at that time you didn't know what had happened and weren't sure that you were dead or anything. Since then, have you had anything different, weird, any renounced feelings or, from dying? Is there any supernatural elements or
No,
nothing?
nothing.
No more feeling closer to God or nothing,
No, as I'd say God and myself.
Different.
I talk to him every day.
Right.
So there's that. So I don't know if I mentioned that what I do have is called cardiac sarcoidosis.
Okay.
And that's the disease that I have. And there's not a whole lot known about that. It's probably just as bad, if not worse, than cancer. They don't have a cure for it right now.
Right.
That's FDA approved. So the good people up in University of Florida, Shands Hospital, they're trying to keep me alive.
And you've been going through this for about 4 years now or so?
Yeah, with the whole program of it. And I wasn't diagnosed, like I said earlier, until it was like, actually the real diagnosis came in around February, the 1st of February. There's multiple tests that they have to do to come to that conclusion.
Of the sarcoidosis?
Yeah. And I know a couple, this is where the Chagas comes in, because the Chagas and the sarcoid will make, on an MRI, will make the deterioration, I believe, of the heart, if I have that right, look the same.
Oh.
So the MRI, the in-depth one, whatever that meant, the MRIs listed that the conclusion was I had either sarcoidosis or Chagas disease. So then I had to do more tests to separate those two. And then what's left is sarcoidosis that they couldn't rule out. So then they give you that determination that you have it.
And that pretty much took almost 3-4 years to get even to that determination, right?
Correct.
And then you're still working on trying to heal or cure it or correct it. Or,
yeah.
And this was one of the things that was brought up during that time. Anything else from anyone?
You might want to explain what Chagas is.
Yeah. Why don't you mention several times Chagas, and you said you were talking to the nurse about that before before you died.
So Chagas is a disease of Central and South America. It was founded in El Salvador by Dr. Chagas. And what it is a bug that kind of bites you, and that's where it comes out. It's the kissing disease, the bug biting you on the lips.
Mm.
And it inserts some sort of protozoa or
Parasite,
I guess, in there. And then that parasite gets into the bloodstream and goes to some organs. And it just starts eating away.
Ah, no.
And that will, like I said before, it looks the same as
Sarcoidosis. Now, is that in North America? Like we're in Florida. How did you get South American bug? You don't look very South American.
I'm not. I've had the pleasure of helping a group of people from the United States go down and help them put on their first, or maybe not first, but they still needed help, their first National Paralympic Games.
Oh.
So we would go down for 2-3 weeks and we would instruct. My experience is to teach implement inspection. So we'll hold several classes and try and get as many certified as we can. And then we help out with the games. And
that's awesome.
Usually there's 5 of us that go down.
Very cool.
Okay, close this thing out, son.
Well, thank you for watching. If you want to know more about our life or Dad's life, what it's like to live with his disease, drop us a comment and share this video, like, and let us know what you want to see more of. And as always, thanks for watching.
And if you guys have any of your own near-death experiences that you want to share in the comments, or tell us if you died and you had any kind of, you saw the light or whatever, we'd be glad to hear about it, because the couple that we actually know about and can concrete talk to the people, they didn't see anything. So it makes us wonder, if it is real or what.
Yes, let us know. Drop us a comment.